The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal about Isabella's troubles, but it has been around for a while, so you may need to refresh it. Although the character appeared very short on Y&R in 2012, she was only shown from behind and the actress was not identified. Although the character may not be familiar to some audiences, the actress should, because, during 2001 to 2003, she was played by Evelyn Goria. Isabella Brogna once caused a storm with Michael Baldwin, who wanted to use her to distract Paul Williams from his wife, Christine Blair. Isabella goes to the investigator as a female monster in distress for fear of her ex-husband. Paul offers her shelter in his apartment, and they are getting closer and closer. But when digging through dirt on James, Paul discovered that Isabella had worked for him as a prostitute. She confessed everything and Paul forgave her, the two of them getting closer. A fight occurs when Christine returns to town to see Paul kissing another woman, but in reality, Isabella wants Michael and tells him that he is the father of her child. Isabella wants to leave town, but knows she is pregnant. The lawyer reluctantly followed her orders, but Paul later discovered he was the real child and insisted on going up and doing the right thing by marrying her. After giving birth to Ricky Williams, Isabella thought things would improve, but Paul was still obsessed with Christine and even forced her, sexually. Knowing his lie, Isabella abandoned him and soon found herself being investigated by a mysterious woman named Kelly Simmons. This is Christine in disguise, and she informed Paul of Isabella and Michael's original scheme. After breaking up in love, when Paul and Christine got back together, Isabella made everyone believe that Christine had killed her while she secretly planned her next action. The psychopath faced the blonde girl in the bath intent on killing her when Paul arrived just in time to rescue the woman he loved. Later, Isabella made another attempt against Paul and Christine and it was Michael who stepped in to save the day. Isabella has always been the cause of the trouble. She herself embarked on a psychiatric hospital and was only seen again when Paul visited her after he was forced to shoot their equally mentally son, Ricky, to prevent him from killing someone. Sharon is a role that has contributed a lot of interesting scenes to Y&R. So while fans may be wondering whether her latest crisis could mean the end for her, looking back on the history of the heroine is said to prove it. That she's nothing if not resilient. This character was introduced in March 1994, and was played by Monica Potter. She only lasted 2 months in the role, just like she did again, Heidi Mark. But then Sharon Case took over in September and Sharon became a favorite Y&R fan. Sharon Collins moved to Geneva with her mother, Doris, and Nicholas Newman immediately fell in love with her, seeking to steal her from Matt Clark. However, after Matt fought Nick, he took revenge by raping Sharon. Nicky Newman felt Sharon was a gold miner, but after Victor helped pay for an activity that Doris could not afford, Sharon insisted on returning the money, which earned Victor's respect. Matt tried to break up Nick and Sharon by telling him that she gave up an adopted child when she was 16, and while that caused the rift, they soon reconciled. When Sharon was about to marry Nick, she confessed that Matt had raped her, and he hurriedly confronted the opponent only to see him die. Nick was arrested and convicted of murder, but it was soon revealed that he was killed by another woman he raped. In the end, Nick and Sharon got married. When she was pregnant, Nick was not ready, but Sharon did not want to have an abortion. Noah was born early and could not survive. Grace and Tony followed Sharon's first child, Cassie, to try to ease the pain of losing Noah, but when the boy survived, Grace decided to keep Cassie alone. When Cassie's true identity was revealed, she moved in with Sharon, Nick, and Noah. But Sharon was furious when he caught up with Nick and Grace and moved away. However, when Cassie's foster mother, Alice Johnson, returned for the child, Sharon reunited with Nick to present a united front and custody. Matt Clark returned to disguising himself with cosmetic surgery and called himself Carter Mills, but fortunately, Nick was able to stop his evil plot. Sharon found out she was pregnant and Nick was not sure it was his because Matt had claimed to have raped Sharon. After a battle, Nick broke out and when Sharon ran after him, she fell and miscarried the baby, who was revealed to be Nick's. Sharon found herself fascinated by Diego Gutierrez and when she thought Nick was having an affair, she slept with him. Feeling guilty, she confessed and Nick broke up with her. After calming down, Nick was ready to make peace with Sharon just to make her kiss his father, Victor. Devastated, Sharon decided to leave town for a while. When Sharon returned, it was revealed that she was being mixed with Cameron Kirsten, who continued to spy on her and coerced her. She killed him in self-defense and hid his body, then disappeared. It turns out Cameron is really alive and is seeking revenge. But Nick intervened and sought to rescue Sharon from the villain. Tragically, Cassie was killed in a car accident when she tried to drive home drunk Daniel without a license or even without a learner's license. Sadness tore Sharon and Nick, and she found comfort in the arms of Brad Carlton. And then, she started dating Jack Abbott. After surviving on a cliff that killed Drusilla Winters, Sharon married Jack in a secret ceremony. But they had a rocky marriage, and eventually separated. Brad made another play for Sharon, but she still loved Nick, and the couple made love. Sharon began to lose power and steal everything and eventually had to go to the mental room for treatment. She was pregnant, but not sure whether Jack, Brad or Nick were her father. After she gave birth in a mental hospital, Adam Newman stole his child to give to Ashley after she had a miscarriage. After leaving the hospital, Sharon started dating Adam, ignoring everyone's warnings about him. But then the truth came out and Ashley gave the baby to Sharon, who named her Faith. After all the waves, Sharon realized Nick's true love. They returned together, but could not resist her love for Adam. Surprisingly, though, Sharon later married Victor so she could keep custody of Faith. Of course, that didn't last long and Sharon burned Newman Ranch. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and, although related to Adam, she still found herself fascinated by Nick. When reunited with Nick, Sharon is horrified that he will know that she interfered with the paternity test called Jack, not him, as Summer's father. Increasing medicine, Sharon began to see Cassie's vision, and was horrified when she realized the young woman was real. It turned out Victor had hired a similar person, Mariah Copeland, to impersonate Cassie. But it is later revealed that Mariah is actually Cassie's twin brother that Sharon never knew she had. Nick and Sharon are getting married again when Phyllis interrupts the ceremony. Fearing that Nick would learn the truth about his test results conversion, Sharon finally confessed. Enraged, Nick abandoned her and even fought to gain custody of Faith. Heartbroken over losing her daughter, Sharon became comfortable with Dylan McAvoy. As the relationship developed, Dylan was delighted to know she would become a father, and after Sharon had a miscarriage, she did not want to tell him, hoping to get pregnant quickly. But when that didn't happen, she became increasingly unstable and was eventually hospitalized. There, her doctor took her to the little girl she brought home to Dylan. They named him Sullivan Sully McAvoy, but soon Sharon realized something was not added and discovered that Sully was actually Sage's son, Christian. After Sage confronts Sharon, they get into a car accident and Sage dies. Sharon continued to try to live a lie, but in the end there was no other way to confess the truth. Nick takes Christian away, and then Dylan goes to protect the witness alone, urging her to stay in Geneva for her child. Sharon struggled to bring his pieces together by running a coffee shop and even dating Scott Granger for a while. But that collapsed when she found out she had a relationship with Abby. She was also mistaken for a round sex movie when she befriended a prostitute named Crystal. But it was encapsulated in Phyllis's investigation of Chelsea's plan that led to Sharon having a cup of coffee in mind. Chelsea's attempts to silence her were unsuccessful, and Sharon told Nick the truth about Christian. Although Nick and Sharon reunited and he returned to her, their remarried efforts encountered a major obstacle when she found out that he had deceived her with Phyllis and threw him into the altar. In addition, Sharon was caught up in the murder of J.T. Hallstrom, witnessed the crime and then helped Nikki, Victoria and Phyllis cover it up. When the murder was exposed and the women went to court, Sharon enlisted Brittany Hodges to represent her separate from others. The judge declared them guilty, but it turned out the guy was really still alive and went out for revenge. In the mess of J.T., Sharon started working for the GCPD as the victim's contact and started a relationship with Detective Ray Rosales, which was quite awkward until she got a criminal record deleted. And kill people. Although she and Ray tried to do that, Adams' return from the dead made Kibosh romantic when she found herself being dragged back to her ex. After Ray abandoned her, Sharon finally had to go to bed with Adam. Immediately regretting her actions, Sharon pushed Adam away and decided that she would have to leave Genoa for a while to regroup and promise to return to her new purpose. Sharon was able to integrate and begin to overcome her relationship with Ray while doing some consulting work with the troubled son of Adam and Chelsea, Connor. However, her life was turned upside down when she discovered a breast lump and a biopsy confirmed it was cancer. Sharon opened her heart to her family and loved ones, who promised to support her as she battled cancer. Unfortunately, after undergoing chemotherapy, she experienced a major failure when the doctor reported the tumor did not shrink as they expected and she could have lost her breast. How Sharon continues, and for more Y&R news, subscribe to our channel for more information.